Welcome back to the Nick Knight Show. If you're just joining us, we have Kristen Ross of HGTV's House Hunters, as well as Keller Williams Realty. And before we talked about her and buying a home, next up, national trends. I was reading an article where homeowners are becoming landlords. Can you tell us what's going on there?
Well, that goes back to understanding the crisis we had. A lot of times you have owners who refinanced or bought a home and they had a 3 or even a 2-point-something% rate, which is unheard of. So interest rates were at their lowest point. They don't want to give up that interest rate. Rents are going up. So it's an opportunity for them to possibly purchase a new home, as well as rent their old one and put money to their new mortgage or save it or spend.
It seems like millennials are not only getting the short end of the stick when it comes to the job market, but also the housing market. Can you tell us why they're being squeezed out?
Nick, it comes down to two things: debt to income. And that ratio is one of the driving forces in lending. So if you have a lot of debt and not the income to match paying off that debt, then your buying power is substantially decreased.
It seems like the American dream is slowly dying when it comes to people looking at home ownership, right? What do you think about that? And what would you tell those people who feel that way?
I would definitely say it's part of the American dream. And I would say just pick a few countries on the map and look at their process and look at how much it takes to own a home and compare it to how really relatively easy it is here. And I think you would definitely see that it helps build your foundation for your wealth. And when you look at your parents or your grandparents or a friend, if they purchase, they've been able to then sell and substantially use that money to leapfrog into other opportunities.
Another concern that people have is the affordability gap, where a lot of average Americans can no longer afford to buy a home. What do you think is driving that?
I really believe it's again, supply and demand. But at the same time, it's not just homes that are going up. Rents are surging even faster than home prices. So that's why it's really important for people to just look in their market, see what their goals are, because if you're going to be leaving where you live at in 2 years, it might not make sense for you to buy. So it's really just a matter of truly looking at your goals and understanding what will work for me, and then do the math backwards from there.
Home prices seem to be rising, yet the market seems to be slowly recovering. What's driving the higher prices?
So right now, because people are becoming landlords, they're not putting their homes up for sale. So that's definitely one segment of why prices are going up. But then two, it comes down to price and condition. If you have 5 buyers that are looking for a home, $300,000, they want these particular things in these particular school districts, and there's only so many homes, then prices will continue to go up.
The mortgage interest deduction was actually put on the table during the last presidential election, and it seems like, people are still concerned about that. So what do you think about that, and what's being done to maintain a deduction?
The good thing is, for the mortgage interest deduction, it is something that's a bipartisan effort. So the great thing is you have people on both sides of the aisle working to make sure that this is staying in place for homeowners. Now, you also get the mortgage interest deduction for a second home as well. So there's a lot of things that are on the table, but the good thing is that your congressmen are really fighting to keep this, because this helps fuel our economy. And the real estate industry is directly tied to 32 other industries.
Now, I know that you're a member of the National Association of Realtors, so what are they doing to help homeowners and realtors when it comes to the issues they face?
The National Association of Realtors has a huge advocacy role. And the great thing is that not only are they in Washington making sure that they understand what is going on, and as well as how to help fix it, but they also are making sure that realtors stay involved and understand the issues. Just like the flood insurance that some of your viewers may have noticed when they're going to sell their house, maybe it was $12,000 a year, it's now $1,500 a year. So hug your local realtor today.
Now, I love your theory in regards to how home ownership is very similar to relationships, right? Can you share that with us and give some examples?
Definitely. Well, I am like the biggest lover of love. So when I look at real estate, I am in love with it. It is my second marriage, I'll say. And it's funny because a lot of people don't see the correlation, but there is one. I mean, when you look at buying a home, you're checking out the properties just like you're checking out someone you would date. You're seeing if it's a good fit, if it fits your needs, maybe a few wants, tall, dark, and handsome. But you want to see if it fits. And then when you're looking at the maintenance, you have to maintain your home. you have to cut your grass, your neighbors are going to get mad. It's the same thing with your spouse. You want to make sure you constantly keep yourself up. You're attractive to them. The same thing goes with renovating. If you're renovating your home because maybe those 1982 cabinets just aren't looking as good anymore, if you change your cabinets and renovate, then look at love the same way. What can you work on yourself, and what can you help your partner work on to make them better and improve it?
So what do you have coming up next, and where can people find out more about you?
You can find me on the web at www.christiansoldit.com. Look forward to having our Wine, Women, and Wealth series here in Atlanta, as well as you can catch me on an island checking out real estate for clients. So those are all the places you can find me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Christian Ross, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Well, we have to take a break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the Nick Knight Show after this.
The Nick Knight Show, sponsored by Hennessy BS. Never stop, never settle.